Hey everybody, how y'all are? We are going to do a little review or a product review on the Wen WEN Model 3920 16-inch variable speed scroll saw. I was thought about titling this the same as I did on my Facebook video and calling it the I Hate Jigsaw Report, but I figured I better not. This is going to be kind of a two-parter. I've been using it for a while. So this is why I'm giving you this. I'm giving my views, and so because of that, we want to sit down where it's nice and cool and everything, and talk about it a little bit, and then I'm going to shoot some video of the actual machine. I'm not going to shoot it in usage because it's noisy and it's, I'm pretty sure anybody that's interested in this knows how they work and how they cut and everything like that, and probably knows how to use them better than I do. So I'm just going to mention a few of the little quirks that I ran across in my limited usage, which has been about a week. Just kind of talk about it a little bit. Okay? The jigsaw is one of my least popular tools. And for the most part, except for very, very large projects where I can't put it on something, I would have rather have had a bandsaw. But right now, a halfway decent bandsaw is at least a couple $100, and I just got that really nice Delta saw, and I didn't want to go out on a limb and buy another expensive tool right away. So after looking at it, looking around, and seeing a bunch of videos and that, I realized that for the most part, for what I would use it for, I could substitute the jigsaw with a scroll saw and a heavier pin blade. All I needed was something that would do like 1.5 inches, a 2x4, and something like that. So, or less. And then being able to use pin or pinless. I wanted the pinless because I figured, if I want to use this thing for that, I might as well, try to do something a little on the artsy side. Maybe do the little medallions and appliques that Jan would like to paint. Maybe we do something for Christmas. Who knows? I don't know yet. I've got a whole lot of very thin and small scrap wood laying around, and I've made these little glue ups. They're uneven, but they saw out pretty nice, and they come out pretty good. And as you saw in the Polished Man video that I just did, I did it with this scroll saw, and it works. It meets my needs. It's also the most inexpensive machine that I have found, other than used, of course. And I found the best price, of course, was on Amazon. So we ordered it there, brought it in, and I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't sure how much I would use it. I wasn't sure how useful to me it would be, but it's pretty cool. It's a really good go-to tool for smaller objects. Heck, like for cutting dowels. You want to cut a little 2-inch dowel or something like that. You can set that up and you can just sit there and pop that board off left and right. You don't have to do a whole lot of big setup with the table saw. Don't have to worry about big major kickbacks or any of that kind of stuff. It's a pretty safe saw. You just keep your fingers out of the way, of course. And it does vibrate. If you use the little handle that goes on it, guide, whatever you want to call it, it helps a lot. There are some of the things that I had read that were negative comments about this that I did run across, but there are a couple of negative comments which were like real derogatory. I actually found that were because somebody didn't take the time to look so close, and I'm going to bring that up in the video in the shop. Hopefully it'll show up. I don't know how lighting and everything is going to be with this, so we'll have to wait and see. So why don't we just go ahead and go to the shop and take a look at it, and we'll go from there. This is the Wen Model 3920 scroll saw. It's a nice little saw. This is the first scroll saw that I've ever had, so I really can't give you 100% original, or super knowledgeable information on it. I'm just going to try to give a little bit of looky-see and overview, and this way you can kind of see what it's like. There's a lot of dark areas and black and stuff like this. All in all, it came packaged very well. It was encased in styrofoam. The table was tilted up this way to make it fit in the box a little bit better. And when I got it, the only thing that I had to do, put it on a solid level surface. It does have places where you can mount it, and there's like a rubber shock absorption location or grommet, and I set it on a flat level, solid, very solid surface. I connected this hose to the pump, which is for the puffer, and aimed the light to where I wanted it and let it go. It came with a pin. It came with a pinned blade already installed, and it also came, there's an accessory package here, with an Allen wrench, which isn't the world's greatest. Trying to get it to light up over here. And it also came with another pinless and pin end blade, which is meant to be stored in here. Now there have been a number of, I did a lot of research and reading and stuff like this because this is a very inexpensive saw. A couple of things that there were concerns about. Well, there are a number of concerns. Some people call it a piece of junk and this, that, and the other. Some of them had problems with it. And there were concerns about longevity, but it seemed like it was like people that, they sounded very demanding. So it could be, you know, whatever they were doing, or I don't know. But so far it's been pretty good for me. The issues that I found, which really aren't that big a deal, but still something to talk about, is that this piece here, which is the insert plate, it's a little wide, and I'm probably going to cut another one out to fit in there. And they're a little bit, it's a little bit shy on the inside here, just enough that it kind of hangs up in places. So a piece of white blue painter's tape seemed to have helped a lot, and it brought it up a little bit so it doesn't hang up as much, although I need to probably add a little more from what it feels like. The handle, or the piece frame that comes down, contains your puffer and your arm that holds on the piece. Now there was a lot of complaints about the puffer doesn't work, it doesn't do this, doesn't do that. Actually, for me, I found that if you don't have this adjusted properly so that it's close to the work, it won't blow the sawdust away. This guy here, it works pretty good. The only problem that and it's bright, the only problem that I've run into is that you'll get a shadow from the arm, depending on the angle of the dangle and things like that. So you're constantly kind of messing with this to get it right. But I got enough bright light here over my shoulder and everything like that, even though it's hard to believe right now by this video, that I don't really have a problem with that. The lighting works really good. One of the funny parts is I found on the bottom, after I pulled everything out, put it all together, and ran it through a few tests, I found that they had left a piece of wood so that I can even try it. Go figure. There's instructions in there how to set it up, guides on it so it's parallel, so you can do straight lines, and there's a whole lot of things involved with it. It's variable speed, and it's got a separate on-off switch. I don't remember what the speeds are. It's 550 to 1600. Since we're looking here, I don't know if I can get the light up in there. There it is. It's not bad for under $100, I thought. I also invested in a foot switch, which isn't the world's greatest, and I modified a not too adequate vacuum cleaner for the house by cutting the end off and putting a different end on it to use as dust collection, and it works real good. I'm impressed. It's been working very, very well. I've cut a number of things with it, and I've gone down as far as 1/4-inch plywood and have had real good luck with that. And I've cut, 3/4 inch on a 3/4. I've cut a 2x4 on a 2-inch side. Well, I made this, cutting with it, and it cut it well. I wasn't real exact about how I wanted. I just wanted to kind of cut it off enough so that it would make clearance in there and fit in there. And most of the stuff that I did has been rough cuts. I haven't done any real fine finishing work or anything like that. And I've had real good luck with it. It does leave a little bit of fuzziness on it when you're cutting plywoods, but it cuts it. It cuts it well. And this little pump just puffs it away. I don't know what to say. I thought it was a really good product, and I like the way that it works. With the pin, you don't need to tighten this down. The pressure is done by the back, and it provides more than enough pressure and tightness for the blade for it to work fine. Now, there have been some concerns, and people actually sent this thing back because of it. And I'm going to try really hard to see if I can get it close up and everything to explain it. The jaws on the heads on here will, I'm trying to do this one-handed, so kind of bear with me, will handle both pinned and pinless blades. The pin blades, of course, and watch this be a minion call. The pin blades, of course, will just hook in there, and you can release them just by releasing the pressure. Pin blades, on the other hand, you have to capture them. There's a cap screw here, and I don't know if you can see it, because this is kind of in the way. No. Hang on a second. There we go. If you look at the bottom, there's a cap screw here too. That one's hard to get at with that little Allen wrench, because you have to come in all the way from the side over here where my hand is. You're better off investing in a in a T-handle Allen. I don't have one, but this one's been working pretty good, and it's a 3mm Allen that I'm using, which fits well. And I'm going to invest in a T-handle as soon as I find one. Now, one of the complaints that people have had on this thing is the fact that they can't get the T-handle to grip, or the pinless pieces to grip and hold. There it is. Let me get my flashlight over here. Give it a little bit more light. Okay. If you look at the tip there, it's shaped so that there's a little bit of a, why is it? And not, this freehand stuff really sucks. Alright. It's shaped in such a way that there is an area which will grip that blade, and the rest of the area, the rest of it won't. And that's basically just the design of the jaw. And the first mistake that I made was I just took and put the pin in, or not the pin, but put the pinless one in, and I actually put it in too far back, thinking that that was the way to install it. Well, it ends up not being that. That's not the case. It ends up being that there's a small area there. Maybe I'll be able to highlight this out. A very small area there which will grasp the pin and hold it. Once you find that location, it goes in, you crank it down, you have to tighten them up a little bit, and they're fine. The thing that I anticipate is eventually I'm going to have to replace these screws because they're going to wear. I like to find some that have like some way of being able to tighten this with fingers. But if not, using the Allen wrench is not that big a deal. But all in all, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good little tool. It sure beats trying to cut a lot of that kind of stuff that I've done over the past week with a jigsaw. I'll tell you. So, in conclusion, I think it's a good saw. Right now, my initial thoughts on it are that it's going to meet my needs very well. There's some nice little tips and tricks in here, and there's different references in that, and I've been looking through it and that. And I'm still learning. I've never had one of these before, and I'm probably not even using it to like 1/3 of its capacity or its ability. So it's a nice starter unit, but I think that it'll work good for someone that even does more advanced stuff. It definitely won't cut metal. You know, some people say that they cut fine metal and aluminum and stuff in it. And I wouldn't do that. It runs pretty good with hardwood. It cuts plywood. I've read where there's some scroll saws out there that don't cut plywood, and I didn't have the power to do it. I did notice that the blades wear out pretty fast, and so you need to have a good selection and an ample amount of blade if you're doing a lot of cutting. And they wear out a lot when you're doing hardwood, and I guess cutting the glue and everything, like in glue ups and in plywood is probably the worst. And that's one of the things that I've been cutting a lot recently. So the blade that I've got in there now, I don't know how long it's going to work. But when it gets done, you just toss it and put another one in. I mean, it's no big deal. So all in all, I give it a thumbs up. I don't give numerical ratings because it's what I want, and I review it based on my needs. And I feel that this is going to fit my needs very well. It may not yours. You know, but I'll try to give you the information as best as I can to help you make a decision. And for the price, it's almost the same price as a very mid-range jigsaw. So if you have a cheap jigsaw that you can use for big projects, I'd invest in this for small projects. What the heck? This is pretty nice. It's curving and everything like that is great. So anyway, I hope you like my little review. I hope you got some information out of it in my babbling. And if you like it, let me know what you like. If you really like it and you want to see some more of this kind of stuff, then just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. So until next time, y'all have a real nice day.